Here are 10 things you shouldn't do on your Tinder date. Number 10. Who was the worst? Okay, so everyone has a few past relationships that didn't work out as well. Duh, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be dating in the first place. But do you really need to talk about all the bad decisions you've made throughout the years? You really don't. Skip the ex talk. While it's okay to mention some sort of major past relationship, it's best to leave the details out. Leave all of that for later when the two of you have something more to share, rather than a bottle of wine. If you somehow end up mentioning an ex, it's just best not to talk about them. Saying bad things about your ex just speaks a lot about yourself. But whatever you do, don't even think about comparing your new date with your ex. I've heard a story of a dude telling his date that she and his ex share the same birthday. I mean, keep that one to yourself. Because why on earth would you want some girl you're dating to think about your ex every time it's her birthday? Plus, anything your ex and a date shares in common is an awkward thing to say anyways. Then, as if it weren't enough, this dude goes on and says it'd be fun to see whether, quote, she's a bitch just like his ex was. Hey, maybe it was a Hail Mary since he knew the date was going down in flames anyways. Number 9. Blah, blah, blah. Fellas, let the ladies be the ones to do all the talking. Come on now, we know how the world works. However, something's telling me a date isn't going very well if the girl is literally dozing off at the table. We all know those people that just love to listen to themselves talk. The people who just won't shut up. This goes on both sides, because communication is a two-way street. Seriously, if someone actually has to tell people how awesome they are, you know what it means. They're not. If they actually are as cool as they say they are, do they really need to go around convincing people that they are? Didn't think so. Don't do all the talking because you'll come off as too self-absorbed, which I hope isn't your intention in the first place. Be a bit more observant and ask questions that don't involve yes or no answers. Better yet, make some educated guesses about her and she'll for sure give more than a yes or no answer. Number 8. What kind of question is that? Since we're talking about questions here, yes, the two of you are obviously going to be asking a lot of questions to feel each other out. If the date is going well, chances are you guys are going to be talking about a bit more things than just surface level topics. But there's a line between personal and too personal. What's too personal? Too personal includes things such as money, health, or any political views. If you have any strong opinions on something, Trump for example, leave those at home and don't start any heated debates if your date has a different opinion. Just nod politely and change the topic. You're on your date to have fun, not solve America's relation with North Korea. Just as bad as going too personal is basically asking resume-type questions. Things are going to be drier than the Sahara when you go down that road. The best things to talk about are things that are happening right then in the moment. Maybe some girl has on some ridiculous outfit and it reminds you of your ex. Kidding! I meant maybe something you're eating reminds you of some trip you took out of the country. Those stories are way better than a regurgitation of your college career. Number 7. Why yes, it's Axe body spray. Don't judge a book by its cover. Kidding, that's not true. We all swiped right because of that cover. For any situation, you've got to dress the part. And for dates, you don't want to look like you climbed out of the dumpster. She said she goes for the no makeup look. And you think that includes zero makeup, right? Dude, the no makeup look probably has more makeup in it than what Lady Gaga wears on stage. I'm just speculating, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, fellas, I'm not saying to show up in a suit or a tux. I'm just saying we all gotta put in the effort, even if we're just gonna be wearing jeans and a t-shirt to a local bar. Definitely wear clothes appropriate for the occasion. If anything, you'll want to be overdressed rather than underdressed for the occasion. Remember, you only get one chance to leave the first impression. Number 6. Easy does it. Fellas, we all know how it feels to get a girl out that's extremely easy on the eyes. But the thing is, easy on the compliments there. I don't know why guys think girls like only compliments. Girls also like having a normal conversation with a guy. And honestly now, do you really think you're the first and only dude to tell her she's hot? First of all, let's all act like we've been there before. Second, if you really want to give her compliments, find something else to compliment her on instead of her looks. You gotta differentiate yourself from all the other dudes who've taken their chance with her. On the flip side, if a girl shows up not looking like her Tinder photos because she either only had face pictures and shows up way bigger than you expected or want, or she straight up just used pictures from 10 years ago, there's no point in telling her how bad she looks. She already knew that she had to pull some tricks to get you out there, and there's really no point in hurting someone's feelings. However, definitely cut the date short with anyone who wasn't clear in their profile. There's no point in wasting time being with someone you have no intentions of dating. It saves both you and her time. Number 5. Oh yeah, I've seen her. If you've matched on Tinder, then chances are you've probably exchanged at least a number and maybe a social media profile before going out on the actual date. However, even though you've screened her profile on every possible social network, don't tell her that you did that. Even if everyone does it, it's still just weird to admit it. It's just one of those things that everyone does, but no one talks about in public. It's okay to be curious and want to find out more about the person you'll go out with, but acting and actually admitting you've been creeping is a big no-no. So let's say your date starts telling you she has a cat. Don't tell her you already know more about her cat than she does. Or if you took your investigation to the next level and found out all her closest friends' names or something, which, FYI, is actually getting to be super creepy, because it's not going to be a big plus for you. Quite the contrary, actually. Number 4. Lock what up? So you've now actually talked a few times, decided to go out now, and all of a sudden, you drop the whole wanting a girlfriend or wife bomb. Let's take a few steps back and take a deep breath there, bruh. Even though there are a bunch of successful Tinder dating stories, it takes more than just a date to consider anything, really. However, as soon as you say something that screams commitment straight away, there's pretty much a 100% chance that it's gonna last about as long as an Instagram story. Also, girls can smell that insecurity if you're looking for ways to be absolutely positively sure to know she likes you. If a guy puts a girl on the spot whether or not she likes him, basically he just blew his chance. Number 3. I pretty much hate everything. Okay, this one goes for both sides. Don't complain on your date. We all have some bad days sometimes, and if date night happens to be one of those days, well, that's life. Don't be one of those people who just can't seem to find the good in anything, because first impressions mean a ton. No one likes anyone who complains about every little thing going on around them. You know who I'm talking about. The absolute whiners who are bothered by the weather, by the waiter who doesn't wait on them hand and foot, by their boss, by whatever. It's just a downer if it seems like someone absolutely hates everything around them. Oh, and here's another thing. Skip how you've gone out on countless dates and nothing worked out, because that's a major red flag for anyone. It just seems desperate and makes it look like you have no standards. Number 2. Oh, it's only my 8th drink. If you're having some drinks or you're on a more formal date, the thing is, you shouldn't let loose for either one. The truth is, no matter what they say, people who don't know you judge you by your food and drink choices. You could be this great person, but if you get too drunk or eat really unappealing smelly foods that require your hands, your date isn't gonna be impressed. Skip the garlic bread or whatever smelly food on the first date. Drinking is a fun thing to do together, but drinking too much on that first date is never good. Especially if you get weird when you drink. She's not gonna be too thrilled if she's the one that has to drive you home. Number 1. Read between the lines. Pictures are helpful, but you can never be sure whether you actually like someone or not until you go out with them. So even though you both agreed to go out on a date, it could happen that even though she swiped right, she doesn't like you at all. And that's completely fine. While chemistry is a lot of times obvious, sometimes you'll need to read between the lines a lot more. Look at her body language and see how comfortable she is around you. Is your date even interested when you talk? Or has she positioned herself in a way that's impossible for you to touch her? Then don't make things more awkward by trying to kiss her at the end of the night. How things go really depend on the chemistry between two people. Just remember, excitement and passion can't be negotiated. She either liked you or she didn't. If she didn't right from the get-go, you never had a chance in the first place. Here's what's next.
Okay, I wouldn't be rich, but I'd at least have enough money to stay a night at the St. Regis. Anyways, nice guys always think for some reason that it's enough to be nice around women, and then they're magically bound to want to see them naked after a certain amount of niceness. It's just wrong on so many levels.